What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to yet another Tough Builds episode. Today we're going to show you how to do a compression test, but make sure that your post notifications turn on because there's also another test that you have to do with the compression test, but it's not going to be out on this video. So make sure, once again, your post notifications turn on. Without further ado, let's get started with today's video. 2016 Ford Mustang EcoBoost, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do a compression test on a specific motor as well as a V6 and a V8. That's all you got to do is follow the steps that Tough Build Customs is going to show you today. We're going to be using this gauge right here. We're going to go through each individual cylinder and we're going to crank it a few times. But before we do that, we got to disable the fuel pump. So you can either do a relay, a fuse, or you can do the fuel pump control module, which is located on the back seat. Pull that up, connect that, and also keep in mind, pull out your spark plugs, which we're going to be doing right now. So let's go ahead. Fuel pump relay located right here. If you have a fuse that you know that you can find, and it's easier to find the fuse than the relay, go ahead and pull her 15 amp fuse right here. But there's another step, so let's go ahead inside the car and I'll show you guys that one. All right, so we are in the back of the Ford Mustang, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna get two clips that you're gonna be located right underneath here, and there's gonna be one on the other side as well, and you're gonna go ahead and pull up. You're gonna see your fuel pump cap right there, the cap lid. Mine is kind of off because I was trying to test that, but we're not gonna test that today. What we are doing is we're looking for this girl here, and that girl is really easy to disconnect. That's all you gotta do is push down on that tab right there and pull her out, and she is free. You don't have to worry about pulling out a relay or a fuse for your fuel pump. So let's go ahead and show you the next step. After you have disabled your guys' fuel pump, the next step is pretty damn easy. Where you're gonna go ahead and go to all of your ignition coils, pull off all wires. Don't be afraid if they're fragile, don't worry about pulling them. There's another way that you guys can actually take these off without pulling the wires, but I choose to pull them. Go ahead and get you guys one of these. By the way, if you're a sponsorship out there that wants to show off their tools, let me know because I'm looking for a tool sponsor here on Tough Build Customs. So let's go ahead and all the screws. Now we're going to take out all the boots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next step is, I don't suggest using any power tools to do this, but you guys can go ahead, each cylinder, and take out all the spark plugs. Black soot. Let's talk a little bit about that. That means that you are running rich in one cylinder. Now, if you see them on all spark plugs, every single one of them, then that means you are running way too rich in each cylinder. So you need to figure out the reason why you're running rich. It can either be a vacuum leak or an exhaust leak or so on and so forth. Now, if you are seeing a light gray or a white, then you are running way too lean. You need to fix that problem ASAP because running lean is actually worse than running rich. So make sure that you guys are doing and looking at your guys' spark plugs every time you do a compression test. I always recommend doing compression tests every time you change your spark plugs, but I'll leave it to you. Whenever you feel like you want to do a compression test, you do it. But my suggestion, being a mechanic, I do it every time you do a spark plug change. And if you are seeing brown, then that means you are seeing very well combustion going on in the engine. But my cylinder 3 right here that has black soot on it is actually an indication that I am running way too rich in that cylinder. So today we are going to figure out why I am running rich in that cylinder, and we're going to fix the problem, and hopefully we can resolve this. These are actually warrantyable, so I'm going to go ahead and warranty these out and go ahead and throw them in again and see if we get any more black soot on any one of these spark plugs. You can clean these as well. Any brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, it doesn't matter what you use, you can clean your spark plugs. So don't worry about how bad they are. I usually clean them before I throw them back in. Before I go ahead and show you guys how to do a compression test, make sure you guys get a pad of paper and also a pen because you're going to need to note what each cylinder is so you can determine if it's 3 4%, 8%, 20%, and so on and so forth, because if it's a certain number, you got a problem in that cylinder and we need to fix it ASAP. So make sure you guys follow directions on this video today, because everything that I'm telling you now, I know I'm yapping a lot, but I'm trying to explain everything that I know to you, and hopefully it will help somebody out there that is in desperate need to figure out if their motor is healthy or not. Before you do a compression test, it's always notable to make sure that you have a battery charger or monitor on your battery, because you're going to be sitting there cranking the motor and you don't want your battery to die while you're doing this. So make sure you have somewhat of a charger to make sure your battery does not die. Well, without further ado, we have our gauge here, and what we're going to go ahead and we're going to go in the first cylinder. So on this car, the first cylinder is right up here. And that's all you're going to do is make sure that you have the right adapter, because every car is different. They're not all the same. Screw her in and keep screwing. Okay, she's in there now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to let it crank. I'm going to come back out and check it, and I'm going to crank it again to make sure that it stays where I need it to stay. So here we go. Cylinder 1. So cylinder 1 right now is sitting at 151. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to crank it one more time to make sure that that is proper. If we crank it and this does not go up anymore, then that is our compression in that cylinder. So you only need to crank it twice. If it does not go up after twice, stop at that cylinder. Cylinder 1 is still sitting at 151. So we're going to go ahead and note that. So 151. Now also, we are doing a dry compression test. There is a wet compression test that you have to do. It's the same way, but that's all you're going to do is grab a little bit of oil, and we're going to squirt a little bit of oil in each cylinder and turn it over and see if the compression goes up and not down. Also note that it is a good idea to get your motor at least operating temperature. Let it cool down for about 10 minutes. Go ahead and take out your spark plugs and do your compression test. Your compression test is going to be different when the motor is cold and when it is warm. The more you need to know, the better. So doing it hot, you're going to get accurate readings. Remember, everything expands when it gets hot. We are in the Mustang right now, and I'm going to show you guys how to get the car to actually do a safe boot. And you don't want to start the car, and you don't want it to start up with what's in the fuel lines right now. You don't have sparks, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to show you how to do these anyways. So what you're going to do is put your foot on the brake, put your other foot on the gas all the way down, and you're going to go ahead and either hit your button or turn your key and let her crank for about 10 seconds. So here it goes. Okay, we can release our foot now and shut the car off. Now we're going to go back outside and check the compression on that. So here we are back outside. Remember, your numbers are going to be different when the motor is hot, warm, or cold. Mine currently is cold. So we are at 151 at this cylinder 2. Cylinder 3, let's go ahead and jump into it. We are still at 151. Once again, same routine. I'm going to do it 3 times, but you guys do it 2 times. Let's see what it is. Well, it looks like cylinder 4 is actually sitting a little high. We are sitting at 60 on cylinder 4. Huh. Alright, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're gonna receive these numbers on dry startups. Now, what you want to do is, I'm not going to do it here for you guys today, but it's all you need to do is go to your local O'Reilly's or AutoZone or Walmart or wherever you need to go, and you will see either a can with a little nozzle sticking out of it, usually what you use to like skirt anything with. You're going to put some oil into that, and you're going to come to here to each individual cylinder, and you're going to skirt about 3 drops. So 1, 2, 3, and go ahead and put your compression test in there, crank it over again. Now if your car runs into the problem that mine did when I went to go try to do my 3rd start, that just means your car's saying it's too much cranks. You took up all the number of cranks that I can give you. So it's all you got to do is disconnect your battery, connect it back together again, and go ahead and continue doing what you need to do. It's just the computer has it in its mind, if it's not going to start, it's not going to start. And it's definitely telling you, look dude, I'm not started. So why you keep pressing the button? It doesn't know that you are doing a compression test. So if it does do that, just keep that in mind. Just disconnect the negative and go ahead and go on with your day. What I showed you guys today is just a compression test and how to do one, and how to properly operate the vehicle while you are doing one. Now, a lot of the times your compression isn't the issue, but it is definitely going to tell you that your motor is healthy or your motor is not, what cylinder needs help and what cylinder doesn't. Just because your readings are lower sometimes, like this girl here, just because this reading is lower and this one, this cylinder is totally fine, which means that I might have not cleaned that one completely with all the soot that's probably sitting on top of the valve. But we are definitely going to be doing a valve service, and what I mean by valve service is a cleaning. Now I have brushes that I'm going to be using for that, and let's go over here to the other side of the shop, and these are the brushes here. Okay, so a lot of the times you don't want to use any stainless steel brushes on any valves at all. Brass you can, and nylon you can, but do not use stainless steel. That will screw it up, and it will start adding rivets and divots and everything else that you just don't want on your valves. You want the valves to be completely smooth, and if you use stainless steel, you're gonna mess up your valve very, very bad. You just want those valves to be completely smooth, and you want to make sure they don't get stuck open, or they don't get stuck closed, they don't get stuck halfway. If any of that happens, you are definitely going to get weird readings like these. And you'll also get misfires, you'll get lean and rich, and lean and rich, and misfires and knock, and a whole bunch of other things, because your motor is not properly operating. So you definitely want to make sure, if you do a valve service, make sure that you clean them pretty well. It doesn't have to be really, really clean, like it just came off the assembly line, which you can only if you have a sandblaster like that and coconut shells like that down there. You're going to need a bigger compressor than a 2-gallon, which I'm on the works for that right now. Also looking for a sponsor for that, as well as tools. We're going to be expanding the shop a little bit more, and we're going to be working a lot more on the Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a lot more coming to the channel. I got 2 more years of payments to pay this thing off, and we're going to start doing some body work. We're going to be changing out a lot of this car. There's going to be, in the next video that will be coming out, maybe in the nearest future, probably the 4th video, I'm planning to make a mod update video. And you might not think that this thing is modified, but trust me, she is modified. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around, say my goodbyes, and then I will see you guys in the next video when we go ahead and do the leak down test. There's gonna be a lot that you need to learn from that, so make sure you guys stay tuned. And also, you guys were just watching Tough Build Customs 2016 Ford Mustang EcoBoost compression test. I just showed you guys how to do that. So if you guys didn't know, well, now you do. Anyways, this has been my pleasure doing this for you. If you guys learned something today, make sure you guys go ahead and comment that down in the section down below. You know where it goes. Make sure you guys like the video, share it with all your friends, family, and relatives out there. And make sure, once again, guys, that if you are not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe. It is free after all. It helps me grow. I am working just like you have to work. So why not support something that you love to do too? I mean, if you're watching the video, obviously you love to do what I love to do. And you love to do what I love to do. So why don't we just share it together? Also, ladies and gentlemen, I will be showing in the next video how to do a leak down test. So make sure also you subscribe for that, and make sure that your post notifications is also turned on so you get notified when that video does come up. And that pretty much wraps it up for today. But like I said, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, because 92% of you guys are not subscribed. Why? It's free. I'm just kidding. But once again, guys, please smash the subscribe button. And I thank all of you guys that have got me this far. I am blessed. I am super duper blessed, and I'm very, very thankful for my audience that I have gathered. And we're still growing as I'm watching it throughout the days, and I look at it every single day to see how much more I grow. And it makes me extremely excited, and it makes me want to get back on the urge of making videos again for you guys. So I'm trying to figure out different days that I can make videos and days that I can't make videos. That way I can have all of my videos gathered up. I have a few already that I need to edit, but I've been so busy, and that's what's bothering me the most. But I'm gonna try and see if I can disperse it upon my two brothers, and they're gonna help me out with editing, and that way I can have more videos coming out instead of them just sitting in a folder and not doing anything. Next video, we're gonna do a leak down test. So make sure that your post notifications turned on. Once again, my name is Chris. You guys were just watching Tough Builds. Peace.